AITA for refusing to pay for my sister's wedding after she uninvited my wife. My 31M, younger sister Emily, 28F, is getting married in 2 months. Until recently, I was helping pay for the wedding because our parents passed away years ago, and I've always tried to step into that role for her. I've never held it over her head. I genuinely wanted her to have the wedding she dreamed of. For context, my wife Claire, 30F, and I have been together for 7 years and married for 4. She's kind, patient, and has always treated my sister like family. They weren't best friends, but they got along well enough. Or so I thought. About 3 weeks ago, Emily invited me over to discuss some wedding changes. I figured it was about the budget or guest list. Instead, she told me that Claire was no longer invited. I honestly laughed because I thought it was a joke. It wasn't. She said her fiancé's parents are very traditional and think Claire is too outspoken. Apparently, at a family dinner months ago, Claire politely corrected Emily's future father-in-law after he made a joke about women not belonging in leadership roles. She didn't yell or insult him. She simply said she disagreed and explained why. That was enough for them to decide they didn't like her. Emily admitted that they threatened to reduce their financial contribution unless Claire wasn't there because they didn't want drama. I asked Emily if Claire had ever argued with them after that dinner. No. Been rude. No. Caused any problems. No. So you're uninviting my wife because someone else doesn't like that she expressed an opinion once. Emily just shrugged and said, I'm trying to keep the peace. I told her she wasn't keeping the peace. She was choosing the people causing the problem over the person who did nothing wrong. She started crying and said she'd been under so much stress. I left without agreeing to anything. That night I told Claire. She looked hurt but tried to play it off. She actually suggested I should still attend because it's your sister's day. That somehow made me even angrier. The next morning, Emily texted asking when I'd send the next payment for the florist. Instead, I replied, I won't be paying for a wedding my wife isn't welcome to attend. Within 5 minutes, my phone exploded. Emily called me selfish. Her fiancé texted saying I was using money to manipulate her. His mother somehow got my number and left a voicemail saying I was ruining their wedding over politics. I didn't answer any of them. A week later, Emily came to our house. She wasn't there to apologize. She wanted to negotiate. She suggested Claire could attend the ceremony but skip the reception. Then she suggested Claire could come if she promised not to share any opinions. Finally, she suggested Claire simply pretend to be sick if anyone asked why she left early. Claire quietly got up from the couch and walked into another room because she was clearly uncomfortable. I told Emily the conversation was over. She accused Claire of turning me against my own family. That was the moment I asked her to leave. After that, more relatives started calling. Some agreed with me. Others said family should sacrifice for weddings. One uncle said, you already promised the money, a promise is a promise. Maybe, but my promise was made assuming my wife would be treated like family. Last weekend, I learned something interesting. One of Emily's bridesmaids called Claire. Apparently, Emily had been telling everyone that Claire voluntarily declined the invitation because she doesn't enjoy weddings. Claire simply replied, actually, I wasn't invited. Word spread quickly. Several relatives contacted me asking what really happened. I told them exactly what happened without exaggerating anything. Now Emily is furious because multiple cousins have decided not to attend unless Claire is invited. Her maid of honor even stepped down, saying she couldn't support excluding someone who'd done nothing wrong. Yesterday, Emily called again. She finally offered to invite Claire back. At first, that sounded promising. Then she added one condition. Claire had to apologize to her future in-laws for making them uncomfortable. I asked, apologize for what exactly? Emily said, just apologize for disagreeing with them. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Claire never insulted them. She never raised her voice. She simply disagreed with a sexist comment. Why should she apologize for that? I told Emily no. Not only was I done paying for the wedding, but neither Claire nor I would be attending. Emily started crying again and asked how I could abandon my own sister. I reminded her that she abandoned us first. She hung up. Now half the family says I'm standing by my marriage the way I should. The other half says I should have just paid because weddings make people act crazy, and she'll regret this later. For what it's worth, I do feel guilty. I helped raise Emily after our parents died. I changed diapers, worked extra shifts to help pay for college, and celebrated every milestone she had. Saying no to her doesn't feel good. But every time I imagine showing up without Claire, or asking her to apologize for simply expressing an opinion, I know I'd be betraying the person who stood beside me for years. Claire still says she doesn't want to come between me and my sister. I keep telling her she isn't. Emily made that choice herself. So, AITA for refusing to fund my sister's wedding after she uninvited my wife.